My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
All right, places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens.
They're clucking.
Other animals. And action. This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, Rockaholics. And Steve Migs, I have missed your face.
I know, it's been a minute.
We're back.
Welcome back.
Yes, Rockaholics, we are ready to inform you.
Knowledge is power. So give us... Knowledge is power.
What the hell?
So give us 5-ish minutes.
What's wrong with you?
And we'll give you some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
A.K.A. the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today's the day. I guess we're just looking for any kind of a day to drink. Because today is Cinco de Marcho.
I'm in.
I never even knew this was a thing until today. I know Cinco de Mayo, of course, but now we're just going to do Cinco de Marcho?
Is there a signature drink associated with Cinco de Marcho?
You just marcho over to your favorite bar and drink whatever the hell you want. I don't know. What are you feeling?
I guess maybe a margarita.
I'm thinking a brand new men's room beer.
Oh, it's so good. Have you found it at your local Safeway yet?
No, but I found it in the refrigerator here at the station, so I cannot wait to try. There's a whole bunch of them.
And a keg.
Dude, shout out to, is it Black Raven?
Black Raven Brewing, baby.
Oh, man. Just the can alone makes me want to drink it. I don't know why, but just that bright yellow can. I love the logo as well.
And the Raven and the devil horns together, it just is like beautiful magic. I'm so happy about it.
And for those that don't know, we have a brand new men's room beer. It's a men's room IPA from Black Raven Brewing, and it's available at Safeways and a lot of places as well.
Yeah.
But I know some people have found it already at Safeways. But it's and of course it's going to raise money for the local Pacific Northwest Fisher House locations as well. So it continues to be a great reason for you to purchase men's room beer.
And you can trust me, I'm an IPA aficionado, an IPA connoisseur. It is bomb.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely check it out. I'm going to check it out. It's in the refrigerator right now. So Cinco de Marcho to our refrigerator over there. It's also National Absinthe Day. That's what I'm saying. I think people just want to drink. Might I recommend not drinking absinthe while you're on the radio? We've done that before, and it was a terrible idea.
Oh, Lord.
In a great way. It was embarrassingly great. I'll have to try and find some of the audio. Maybe we can play it later on today if we have some time.
I thought you were going to say, I need to find some of that absinthe for us to try.
It was called the Green Fairy. And let's just say that day, went down a weird road. It ended up with strip clubs.
Oh, wow.
Burritos and...
I think I want to do this.
And lots of regret. Lots of regret also for the Denver Broncos as they say goodbye to the box.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited.
Russell Wilson. Farewell, Russ. They've decided to release him. I think everybody expected that. Just 18 months into his 5-year, $242 million contract extension. They're still going to owe him $39 million for 2024. Also, I think it was like $89 million in dead cap space over the next 2 seasons as well. Everybody was thinking, this last season was going to be a great year for him. He's going to be working with a guy he idolized in Sean Payton. Well, Sean Payton, I don't think idolized Russell Wilson, not so much. So he said, yep, he's out. Rumor has it he might end up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whoever grabs him, though, is probably going to get him for a massive discount.
Do you think he's going to change the name of his dog?
What's his dog's name? Bronco?
Bronco.
Yeah, now it's Steeler.
Speaking of football, former Seahawks great KJ Wright has announced his transition to coaching, and he's going to be joining up with the San Francisco 49ers as an assistant linebackers and defensive quality control coach under Kyle Shanahan. KJ retired from the NFL back in 2022 after a season with the Las Vegas Raiders, but we will always treasure him here in Seattle as a member of the Legion of Boom.
Hell yeah. And also, I love that he came back, signed a contract for like a one-day contract so he could retire as a Seahawk, which I thought was great. Obviously, some people, we'll have to talk about it later. I think at like 7:20 this morning, I definitely want to talk about how Seahawk fans have maybe gone a little too far with how they're reacting to this.
Just take a chill pill.
Right, because it's a bummer. Honestly, I'm more bummed that he probably won't be able to do his podcast anymore. I loved KJ all day, especially right after a game, because he would do a podcast that night analyzing, and you could tell from his podcast that all he wants to do is coach. So how do you not give this guy a lot of love? And then from what I've heard, it wasn't like as if the Seahawks were offering him a coaching gig. So what are you mad at him because
he's pursuing a future?
How dare you not take a job with a team that did not offer you a job? So strange. Also, let's talk about the Kraken. Big win for the Seattle Kraken last night. Jared McCann had a goal and an assist to help the Kraken beat the Calgary Flames 4-2. That's their third win in 4 games. Johnny Gord had a goal. Oliver Bjorkstrand as well. Adam Larson, too. The Kraken are 6-2-1 in the last 9 games, giving us maybe some false hope that they can maybe make a run for the playoffs. They're still far back. I think they're 7 points back of Nashville, who had the second wild card spot. But still, you got to win games to make anything out of it. And Philip Grubauer continues to play great. 35 saves. 35 saves for the Kraken. I do want to give a middle finger to Calgary Flames rookie Martin Pospisil. This guy's a piece of crap. He had 2 dirty hits. One of them, man, he could have really hurt Vince Dunn at the end of that game. It was just infuriating to see that even, because, Vince had his back to him towards the boards, and he just came out of nowhere and just, boom, crushed him into the boards. Could have broke his neck. It was just a dirty, dirty hit. He got kicked out of the game for it, and deservingly so. Up next for the Kraken, taking on the Winnipeg Jets. That's going to be happening tonight. Before we get out of here, did want to give a quick shout out and send love to the family and friends of Justin Klein, who is the co-founder of Full Tilt Ice Cream. He passed away while we've been off due to a heart attack that he suffered about a month ago. Just a guy that loved his community, did a lot for the community, helped the White Center Business District as well. And if anyone ever had Full Tilt Ice Cream, it's incredible ice cream. Founded back in 2008, and just a well-loved person in his community and the neighborhood, and I'm sure loved by all of his friends and family as well. So much love to him. As far as weather, we're going to hit a high of 45 degrees and clouds, and that has been the Daily Migs download, and that's what's up.
One of the toughest things that we will ever experience as parents is seeing your kid get hurt. And one member is now struggling with the fact that their kid might also need surgery. What is happening? You're going to find out at 6:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Rockaholics, what did you miss because of your kid?
Blame it on the kid. Blame it on the kid.
It's all the kid's fault every
Damn
time.
Kids.
206-803-ROCK. What did you miss because of your kid? And the reason we ask is because of the update from the Tatum world.
Yes. So I guess as of right now, we have missed nothing. I mean, obviously, we had to do some stuff for like work conventions and things, and that's why we were around for the last few days. But, well, we actually missed work yesterday because of your kid.
Well, yeah, and then that didn't actually happen. Just so everyone knows, yesterday we took the day off because Barrett was starting a new school. And I thought it was the right thing to do to, have the mom bring him to his new school.
It's emotional. Very
emotional. I was very emotional.
Yeah.
And then it snowed.
Yeah.
And the school got canceled.
You sent us the text. I listened to my wife. I'm like, yeah, this is why we didn't have to work today. And it turns out that she didn't even have to go bring him to school. I was like, oh, that's a dagger.
So we're back today. I'm not taking him to what is his actual first day of school today.
Which is today.
Today.
Well, best of
so
luck
the
to
nanny
Barrett.
will take him. Best of luck to Barrett. We're excited. He's excited, but it's a little nerve-wracking.
Yes.
But not as nerve-wracking as what's going on in your world, Steve.
So last week I shared how Tatum fell off. She was like with this place called, I think, Wiggle Works. It's in the mall. And they didn't do anything wrong. Like she was just playing on one of those little kid structures and fell off of it. We just thought she jammed her arm. It was like not even a couple of feet, maybe a couple of feet of a drop. They take her to the emergency room, find out that she fractured her arm like right above the elbow. And it was just like, oh, this sucks. So she's been in one of those temporary casts. So today after the show, we're supposed to go to the doctors and get the actual cast, which she is fired up for. She's like, I'm going to get a pink cast. We're going to draw on it. It's going to be awesome, right?
Of course.
But then we get this random voicemail yesterday from the doctors are just like, okay, just confirming your appointment also for Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. And then also we received our invoice for what we owe. And it's a lot more than what I thought we were going to have to owe, which is just like, oh, boy, well, maybe we are going on vacation this year. I was like, I can't believe there's this much just for a cast. Come to find out, either the doctor saw the x-rays or he or she are they're just setting things up in case she needs surgery. But it looks like she's going to need surgery, which, of course, is just like, we're not positive, fingers crossed. But just heads up, Rockaholics. If we're not on the air tomorrow, this is why. This is why I'm going to miss work because, well, first of all, so we get this information. We call them up and like, well, it's not 100%, but there's a good chance that your daughter might need surgery, which, of course, is just, you don't ever want to hear that, even though it's something that's relatively routine. And, this is our first kid, so cut us some slack. We're trying to figure this out as we go along.
You're doing great, Steve.
We're trying. But then my wife's like, hey, if she needs surgery, are you going to take tomorrow? Are you going to take Wednesday off? And I had to apologize quickly to her because I was like, nerves, I'm stressed, the anxiety of all this. I was just like, well, we just took a whole bunch of days off. I can't take any more days off. And she's just like, oh. And I'm like, wait, that was a terrible answer to your question. Of course, I'll be able to figure it out. But I was just like, you're in this moment of pure panic. I was just like, man, we just had a couple days off because we had this work convention to go to last week. And then stupid Taryn had to take a day off because of her kid. I'm kidding. I didn't say that. I said lovely Taryn had to take a day off.
The lovely Taryn.
But now it's looking like if she does need surgery, I'm going to have to miss work because of that. And I just don't want, and that was, with us being such a new show, that was like the last thing you want to do. But also, I can't imagine not being there with my child when she's going into surgery. And, so I'm like, no, of course, we'll figure this out. But then, of course, I have to grab my notes app because I had to write this down. Later on in the night, then there's the moment where I'm like, you know what, I might have to work on Wednesday because screw my child. I'm kidding, of course. But out of nowhere, she just pops her head up. She's in good spirits. Like, we haven't told her might need surgery. We figure we'll wait until after the doctor confirms that or not because, you don't want to add more stress to the poor child. Sure. She hasn't slept well we haven't slept well because she wakes up because that's her thumb-sucking arm, which, in a weird way, maybe this is weaning her from sucking her thumb because she tells us that the other thumb doesn't taste the same, so she can't suck her thumb with the other arm.
Of course not. What are you, insane?
I'm not kidding. That was the comment. Like, just use your other arm. She's like, Dad, doesn't taste the same. Like, can't fight that logic. So then she looks at me last night and just a big smile on her face. She just says, I think I love Mommy better than Daddy. Just says that. I was just like, oh, thanks.
So you're going to come to work tomorrow then?
Out of nowhere. That's what I was like in my head. I was to my wife. I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming to surgery. Screw this child.
She doesn't care.
Like, I don't know what was more like random about it was the fact that she said that or that she made it a point to say Mo Betta. Which I was like, strange thing to say.
Well, you know what, Steve Migs? We are a family first show. And so
I know.
If we take the day off tomorrow, just know that no one will hold it against you.
Okay,
I support you 100%.
For the Rockaholics, because I know, that's the last thing we want to be is away. Like, we do love doing this show, and especially being so new, we don't want to, take all this time off. But if we're not here tomorrow, it's my kid's fault.
None
the
of us,
child that doesn't love me as much as her mother.
None of us are taking these days for fun or vacation. This is these are all high stress situations.
100%. Much rather be at work because that would mean that. And if we're back tomorrow, then I'm very happy because that meant she didn't need surgery and she just had to get that awesome pink cast that she wanted anyway.
206-803-ROCK. What did you miss because of your kid, Rockaholics? We're going to take your calls after Nickelback.
The Daly Migs Show.
Rockaholics, what did you miss out on all because of your kid? 206-803-ROCK. Give us a call now. Shoot us a text message. Tell us all about it.
Some of the texts are coming in. This one, I remember this show, and I do actually feel really bad for this person texting in. They said, I missed that Temple of the Dog show. You know, the one before Chris Cornell passed away. My kid had a blowout. My wife hit her breaking point, and it was a giant mess. And I couldn't imagine saying, peace out, babe. I'm off to go see Temple of the Dog. I wish I would have now. She would have gotten over it. LOL.
LOL. That's brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, also, you don't expect what happened with Chris to happen. I mean, maybe in the back of your mind, you're thinking, there's no chance they're going to do this tour again.
Mm-mm.
It was a great show. I hate to break it to them.
I was there. It was awesome.
I know. It was freaking amazing.
I was in tears.
Yeah.
Tears of joy.
Someone also texted at 206-803-ROCK. Simple one. I missed my bank account being full because of my kids.
Oh, that hits. That hits.
Now, you recently obviously had a miss because of the first day. Has there been any other reasons that you've missed out on something because of Barrett?
Well, it was actually a combination of Barrett and my husband, Brad. They both got the flu on New Year's Eve, and Brad and I were supposed to take Barrett, I think, to my parents' house, where we had a babysitter, and we were going to go to a show. Well, Brad was down so hard. For a second, I thought maybe I could go to the show by myself, but Brad was down so hard with the flu that he would have not been capable of taking care of Barrett. He was laid out. It was, couldn't even get out of bed. I'll spare you the details. So I had to take care of...
No, please tell us all the details. I'm kidding.
So I had to be on Barrett duty, literally duty, when he was dealing with the flu. And Brad was dealing with his own flu, and we did not get to go to the concert. And that's how I rang in the new year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was lovely.
I think about one where actually it happened. I was supposed to go to see a Kraken game with D. Ted Smith. It was I think the first season. We were going to do one of our crazy nights where we're just going to get wasted and I would just pass out at his place. It was everything. We were so fired up. It was a Friday night. We got Kraken jerseys and we were just all excited about it. And then all of a sudden Tatum had one of those just flu-like symptoms just coming out of every end. It was just one of those ones. And I was just ready to step out of the house. And my wife's just looking at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. She's just like, thank you.
She's looking at you like, are you insane right now?
The crazy part was I didn't go anywhere. And the next day I was like, I'm not feeling all that hot. I think I got whatever Tatum's bug. And then it turned out I had COVID. And I'm like,
oh, no.
At the time, this is at the beginning of all the craziness when they finally started letting things happen again. And I was like, man, I would have felt terrible if I didn't know I had it and just went on.
Gave it to everyone?
Everybody. Everyone at Climate Pledge, Ted, everybody.
Ugh.
That would have been awful.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
So it's I missed my wife being pregnant. It was such a lovely time. She was the cutest little whale ever.
Oh.
So it may sound crazy. Okay.
Yeah, when I think back to my pregnancy ankles, I do think the word cute is applicable for sure. So cute.
Please tell. That's a great relationship if you can refer to your wife as the cutest little whale ever and she's okay with it. Or is that just a text that you say amongst the fellas? What about you, Danny? Obviously, Lily's 9.
Of course.
And she doesn't live here in Washington State, so you've had to miss some stuff.
Of course, yeah. I think the biggest one that reminds me was there's been a lot of concerts, but the one that stands out in my mind, and I don't know why, there was a tour that came here called the Scallywag Festival.
Yes.
And it was Rancid, and I think Pennywise, and they announced it. And it's always one of those things for me where you see the flyer for a concert, and you're like, yes, and you look at the date immediately, and it's like, well, I guess I'm not going to that one because it landed directly on her birthday. And it's one of those things of well, I guess I'm not doing Scallywag Festival. And it's I just haven't seen Rancid in so long. And I think that's why I haven't seen Rancid since 2003. It's been a long time. And I really wanted to go to that. But, of course, I'm not going to miss her birthday.
Was the birthday awesome enough to make you not feel like you missed out on something great?
I mean...
Okay.
Yeah.
That question.
Lily, guess what? I got you tickets to Scallywag Festival for your birthday.
I'm flying you out.
You're going to love it. You know how you always said you love Rancid? No, you used to say it before you could, talk. You was a massive Rancid fan. Sorry, you have no kids. So do you...
No, I don't have any kids.
But you look like you have a story.
But I'm pretty much much dating a child.
Wow. Dating?
I mean, married
Wow.
to. See, I don't even know anymore.
I was going to say, does George know about this child that you're dating?
I just need to say, we went to Portland over the weekend, and what you do in Portland, I don't know, but besides go to strip clubs. So we went to...
Wow.
That's all there is to do.
What
There's
else do you
nothing
do in
else.
Portland?
Can I ask them, did you pitch this trip to Portland and said, hey, let's go to Portland and let's go check out some strip clubs?
Well, okay. So
or did he pitch it?
No, I have been on a troll hunt, for those who know, and there are 6 trolls in the PNW, big trolls that are made by this dude, and the last one we
Are they
needed
like
to
statues, like wooden sculptures,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Okay.
big sculptures.
Is it just one guy that
It's
makes
one-
all of them?
Yeah, one guy that does them all.
I don't feel like I knew that. I thought it was like a team of troll makers.
No, just one man named Thomas.
So is there a stripper that's a troll?
I would love that, Steve. But the last troll to see that we needed to see was in Portland.
In the Acropolis.
Well,
Wouldn't that be amazing if they actually had the wooden structure of a troll like on one of the stages?
that would be the best.
Yeah.
But that was my kind of thing. Okay, we got to go to Portland to see this troll. And to convince my husband to drive 4 hours just to see a sculpture of a troll is difficult. So I said, and then we'll go to some strip clubs. So that's how, we got him there. But he's a baby because this guy said he got a headache because of the meal we had because he ate too many onions. So we had to leave the strip club.
Does he normally get headaches from onion consumption?
Never.
Like what?
Never.
When you text me that the other day, I was like, what are you talking about?
Wait, so you guys were at the strip club?
It was amazing. Yes.
Which one were you at the time?
So we went to the Acropolis and then we went to Casa Diablo.
Oh, yeah, because you're a vegetarian and they serve fine vegan meals there.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
I got
really?
I got the.
You didn't know that?
At Casa Diablo?
Casa Diablo is apparently a vegan restaurant on top of being a strip club.
And
a booby bar.
Acropolis they're all about the steaks. So, of course, I can't eat that. So then we had to go to the vegan one for me. I got vegan pad thai and I got a vegan crunch wrap.
Was it good?
It was fabulous. But I guess my man thought the crunch wrap had too many onions in it. So we literally left because he had a headache from the onions.
I just love that was the excuse when that's never been an excuse for him before.
What? Yeah. He's a baby.
I mean, then you got to cut him some slack. I mean, this poor man had some bad onions, apparently.
No.
I'm sorry. Even if I had a headache and I'm at a strip club, I'm powering through it.
Thank you.
Get a water, ask for an Excedrin migraine, keep going.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we
he's
did not
he's
keep
a big
going.
baby.
We went back to the hotel and he went to bed like a child.
Did you go back to the strip club without him then?
I would have. I just went outside, drank more champagne by myself. I put little George to sleep.
Did you tuck him in?
I did.
Kiss on the head?
No, he didn't deserve that kiss.
Rockaholics, how would you like to beat Steve? He's currently 52, 16, and 6 in
Domination.
2020. I mean, that is insanity. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 6:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High hopes, Streaming 420 on Hulu.
The average family throws out $1,500 of food every year. That's a lot. Imagine what you could do with extra cash. There are simple ways to reduce your food waste and increase your savings. It starts with a meal plan, a menu, a shopping list, and ends with a little creativity, fresh recipes, ingredient swaps, and new kitchen skills. Get tips to reduce food waste and make your dollar go further. Know the cost. Go to usefoodwell.org to learn more.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 420 on Hulu.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're
a loser. Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Adam from Shelton is. Adam, are you there?
Good morning, everyone.
What up, brother?
Good morning. I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Adam has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
What fast food chain has used the slogan, "Have it your way"?
Burger King.
Yes. How many seasons did Russell Wilson play for the Denver Broncos?
2.
Yes. What is the name of Winnie the Pooh's donkey friend?
Eeyore.
Correct. The first Winter Olympic Games were held in what decade?
The 1910.
No.
20s. 30s.
Yes. Mount Everest is found in what mountain range?
Pass.
A species considered to be... Yes. A species considered to be facing an extremely high risk of extinction is called what?
Endangered.
Yes. The average adult human brain weighs about how many pounds?
3.
Yes. What is the only natural substance on Earth to exist in all 3 physical states?
Water.
Yes. How many rooms are there in a standard game of Clue?
9.
Yes. Carne asada translate to roasted or grilled what?
Steak.
What'd you say?
Steak.
No.
Steak.
No. Adam, you got 9 correct, though. That is amazing. Almost the perfect 10, but I think you're going to win.
I'm on Team Adam.
Absolutely. And if Steve gets this, it's just going to be a sad day for us all.
The look on Taryn's face as I walked in is like, I don't know how to describe it other than her facial expression. If you were like searching like a GIF for "you're going down" face, this is the face, because she just had this look like you are going down.
I mean, you do have some work to do.
Steve, are you ready?
Yes. I hope so.
What fast food chain has used the slogan "Have it your way"?
Burger King.
Yes. How many seasons did Russell Wilson play for the Denver Broncos?
None anymore. 2 seasons.
Correct.
18 long
What
months.
is the name of Winnie the Pooh's donkey friend?
Eeyore.
Yes. The first Winter Olympic Games were held in what decade?
I'm going to go with the 1920s.
Yes. Mount Everest
Isn't that weird that we have to say
is
1920s?
found in which mountain range? It's super weird.
Mount Everest in the Rockies.
No.
I don't know. The Everest mountain range.
No.
The Adventure Bay mountain range.
No. A species considered to be facing extremely high risk of extinction is called what?
Extinct.
No.
Dangerous.
No.
On the threshold.
No. The average adult human brain weighs about how many pounds?
5.
No.
Oh, 8.
No.
6.
No.
3?
What is the only? Yeah.
Oh.
What is the only natural substance on Earth to exist in all 3 physical states?
Well, mine was like 5 pounds at least.
Oh yeah.
Not today. Clearly, I don't know the answer to that one. So,
no.
Steve, you got 4 correct, which is a big loss. 9-4.
9?
Let's go, Adam. Yeah, 9.
Oh, you've been whooping me all year, Steve. Good game.
Man, you crushed me, Adam. Nice job.
Steve,
that was very impressive.
You were on a little roll there.
I was feeling great, and then all of a sudden I started thinking about Taryn's face when I got the first one wrong, and I'm like, I think I'm going to start going downhill from there, and it did.
Mount Everest is in the Himalayas.
I did not know that.
A species considered to be facing extremely high risk of extinction is called endangered.
Oh, crap.
It was right on. I think you said danger.
Yeah.
I think I might have said in danger,
They're
which is completely
in
different.
danger.
The average adult human brain is only 3 pounds. The only natural substance on Earth to exist in all 3 physical states, water. And how many rooms are on a standard game of Clue? You didn't get to that. But
How
do you
many
know?
rooms? 5?
No.
6.
Wow, my gosh. 9.
Oh, sorry. The judgment from the 3 of you. I always know it's going really bad when I hear Danny, even like when I was guessing on the weight of the brain, and I just hear Danny in the back. I'm going, oh my God.
Didn't the little kid
You really think somebody's going to have an 8-pound brain? Why not?
Didn't the little kid in Jerry Maguire teach us that it's 3 pounds?
I thought he taught us about girls have a, you know what, ski and boys have another thing.
Oh, maybe that too. I don't know.
That's what you remembered, but not the weight of the brain. And then one that he did get to but did not get correct. Carne asada translate to roasted or grilled.
Steak.
No.
Oh.
Carne is
beef.
Just meat.
There we
Meat.
go.
Oh, I see. I was like, I thought steak was the right answer too.
You guys were both staring at me like,
I was like, this is not correct, Sarah.
it's steak. It's all the meat.
Well, speaking of food, is there a food that you hated eating all the time growing up?
Carne
We
asada.
have the funniest audio of a kid losing his ever-loving mind over chicken. You're going to hear that audio after Rush.
The Daily Migs Show.
A woman named Lacey Marie uploaded a video of her son from her doorbell camera to TikTok. And her 10-year-old is caught on said camera as he's taking the trash out, venting to nobody about always having to eat chicken.
I like fried chicken.
That's a kid that actually likes eating chicken. Do you remember a certain food before we play the audio that you know, like you were, every time your parents made you it, you're just like, damn it, I have to eat this crap?
There's a couple
Or
things.
this stuff. I know they listen.
There's a couple things. One that haunts my life is like Hamburger Helper.
Yes.
That I just can't, like, even the little, like, I can picture the little Hamburger Helper logo and I just want to like hurt the guy.
Sometimes my parents would give us just the helper. They wouldn't even give us the hamburger part.
Just the helper part?
Like the noodles.
Was this like foreshadowing for you being a plant-based weirdo?
I think it was just maybe times were a little tough and they couldn't afford the hamburger meat. And I was just like, we're just eating the helper.
Yeah, Hamburger Helper was a big one. Also canned green beans.
Okay.
That one haunts my brain too.
I remember ours. I would always get a little, almost like, oh crap, we're having homemade chicken cutlets or whatever. Like my mom would then also she would cook up the chicken liver.
Oh, no.
And it was always like such a struggle. Every time I would eat it, I'd be like, it's not as bad as I thought, but it would always take a lot of convincing for me to even try eating it.
Did you ever come up with like a solution to having to eat something? Like I would have my napkin in my lap and I'd put it up to my mouth and spit something that I didn't want into the napkin and then put it back down.
Oh,
so it looked like I was just wiping my face, but I was actually just removing the.
And you just had like a napkin full of meat on your lap?
Like, there were probably some canned green beans in there. Well, this poor 10-year-old kid, he doesn't like chicken. And we find out because he rants all the way to the trash can, being sure to get it all out of his system before he makes it back into the house.
Chicken, more chicken. It's healthy for you. Like, you have chicken every day. Eat this, eat that. Eat more chicken. Keep eating it. It's healthy for you. Like, we get it. We have chicken every day. Oh, this is healthy for you. I want you to grow bigger. So, like, I work out. Like, I don't want no freaking chicken. Nobody wants chicken. Been eating it for a day, every single day of my years.
I love this kid.
Every single day of my years.
I get it. We love chicken.
I mean, I feel like chicken is kind of one of the more popular things to eat. My child will only eat chicken in the form of Dino Nuggets.
Oh, Dino Nuggets are freaking great.
They are great.
They even make plant-based ones now.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah. They don't mess around.
And I think they even make a gluten-free one now for the gluten-free population where the breading is safe to eat.
Whoever's in charge of Dino Nuggets, like, look, we're going to make sure everybody enjoys these. We don't care what your issue is with food. We're going to figure it out for you.
206-803-ROCK. Feel free to give us a call at any point during the show and weigh in.
Yeah, I mean, if you, because we have some people that have been texting and said, oh my God, liver and onions make me gag every time as a child. And I still gag a little bit thinking about it.
Is that still something people prepare?
Liver?
Liver and onions?
Yeah.
Do people really, is it a traditional thing? What is the deal with liver and onions?
I don't know. I just know that my grandma made me try it when I was a kid, and I hated it. However, I want to go back and try it with my now refined adult palate and see if I still shut up there. See if I still like it as much as I or hate it as much as I used to. I think I might like it.
See, I see what you mean, because as a kid, I don't think, when you think about it, it is kind of funny. Like, we used to get so mad when Mom would do a home-cooked meal. Like, chicken Parmesan? I just want the frozen pizza. Yeah. And I remember looking back now as an adult, what an idiot. Like, we were getting like these homemade Italian meals. Like, my mom would like just spend the entire day making like the sauce and have all the meat inside the sauce, like the sausage and the meatballs. It would cook with the sauce all day long.
I want that.
I know. But I remember being so pissed off. I'm like, what, we can't have McDonald's? Yep. We got to have this thing that you've been slaving away in the kitchen for the last 7 hours that's going to taste amazing, that I would kill for now as an adult. Like, that was so good.
Have you inherited Italian cooking skills?
No.
None?
No. I mean, I can boil water and I can make pasta, but no, I'm not. I can't do anything.
You're not the culinary. You don't do the culinary work in your house.
The only thing I've ever figured out how to make are tamales, just because I love tamales so much that I spent time on a YouTube tutorial and like spent way too much time figuring out how to make tamales, to the point where now I make them for Christmas Eve for everybody and my wife's family, because they all enjoy the tamales as much as they do.
That's like that's a tradition that
I'll bring them in sometime. I make tamales.
All right, we've got to talk to Mitchell in Marysville, who is a lover of liver and onions.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
The same thing, though. I didn't like it when I was a kid, and then tried it 10, 15 years ago, and it's great.
Yeah, someone even just texted in saying, they still sell them in some restaurants as well. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, all organ meat is actually really good. Heart and all that.
Oh, yeah. Do you prepare many organs?
No, just like realistically, that's just like Thanksgiving and Christmas time comes around and use the giblets and whatnot.
No, because Taryn in college at Wazoo, she prepared a lot of organs.
This is true. Mitchell, question: How do you prepare liver and onions? What is the preparation? I've never done it. I've never had
almost like fried chicken, breaded and fried,
and then just like saute it with the onions.
Well, no, you don't saute it with the onions. You cook the onions separate, and then you put onions on top of the fried liver. So essentially, it's going to look like one of them Salisbury steaks, but with breading on it.
This just shows how clueless I am to cooking. I'm like, you saute it? I know that word. I just put it with the onions. Okay, now I get what you're talking about.
Okay, one other question. When you prepare, is there a specific animal that the liver needs to come from?
I really have never looked too far into that, but I think most of them come from a cow, I guess. Hell, I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for the insight on liver and onions, Mitchell.
Dude, somebody even texted in. I'm 100% with that, dude. I hated liver and onions when I was younger, but now it's one of my favorite things to eat. Have it at least once a week.
I honestly don't think I've had it. I don't think I ever have. Maybe I need to have a taste test.
Although somebody said I'm 1,000% with this kid. My mom made me fried chicken for 6 of the 7 days of the week my entire childhood. Oh. It made me chicken averse.
I would love to have fried chicken made in my family. I don't have any fried chicken makers in my family.
Are you the big cooker in your house, or is it Brad, your husband?
We're probably like 60-40. I probably do 60%. He does 40%.
Is the 40%? I do that too. But the 40% is me ordering takeout and picking it up. I'm like, got a sushi.
No, we share the responsibilities. It just kind of depends.
What's your go-to dish?
Well, I think I told you we do a lot of HelloFresh right now. Is kind of, so we get these like meal kits, which is very nice.
Yeah.
But if we're just like cooking at home, and we like to grill a lot. If we're just like, hitting the store or whatever, we might do like, steaks and asparagus on the grill or something like that.
Even in the winter?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We got a covered patio out there all the time.
Look at you living the bougie life on the farm. So it says 13 coins does liver and onions.
What? Field trip.
Yes.
Danny, let's go.
In.
All right. Well, Rockaholics, we're not sure, but we think Seahawks fans may have lost their minds. We have an example of this, and what is going on, we're going to tell you all about it at 7:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
Rockaholics, we want to know, when has your fandom gone too far? When did you get too mad or do something really dumb, all because of sports?
We all have done it.
206-803-ROCK. Give us a call now. The reason we're talking about this is because former Seahawks great KJ Wright has announced that he's going to move into a coaching role with the San Francisco 49ers. So he'll be an assistant linebackers and defensive quality control coach under Kyle Shanahan.
So he's an assistant coach.
Yes.
I do love the part, defensive quality control.
I like that.
I know, it does sound kind of
very
awesome.
important.
Yes, that does sound more important than just being, not just, but you know what I mean, just having the title of assistant linebackers
For
coach.
sure. So instead of everybody just being excited for him, there's a lot of Seahawks fans that have said that they're a little bit upset
Yes.
with KJ Wright.
I was kind of expecting it, but not expecting the amount of people and what people are saying on social media. Like, I figured, okay, yeah, he's going to the 49ers. And, of course, Seahawks fans, you know, we just don't like the 49ers because that's our rival in our division. But also, here's a guy who wants to get a job in the coaching world. And how do you pass up on that opportunity, especially when the Seahawks did not offer him a job to work with the Seahawks? Like, I mean, of course, he would rather probably stay with the Seahawks. His home is here. He's doing things here. I would imagine that's a way easier transition than having to pick up and move to Santa Clara.
Absolutely.
In fact, I guess when he was doing his last podcast, he did a big, State of the Union address. Like, I'm leaving and this is what's going on. Obviously, I'm more bummed that he's not going to be able to do his podcast because I really did enjoy his podcast, KJ All Day, which I thought was a great peek into the world of football from the eyes and ears and perspective of a former player that played with the Hawks. And he would talk to former players, current players, and just have great analysis on Sunday nights, usually after a Hawks game, that you didn't get from your broadcasters because they never played the game. But he did address, because his producer was like, some people are going to be upset with you because you're going to the 49ers. And here's what KJ had to say about that.
There's really no reason to be mad because I think that everybody that knows me knows my heart. I think everybody knows that people want me to be happy.
Now, first of all, KJ, no, you clearly don't understand fans. They do not want you to be happy if you're going into San Francisco 49ers.
No.
You guys want me to be happy, right? You want me to be in a good mental space, right? And so, opportunity presented itself. Opportunity really presented itself, and it happens quick.
I mean, for me personally, of course, I don't like the San Francisco 49ers, but there are individual players on the team that I like.
Sure.
Like, I really enjoy George Kittle. He's a lot of fun to me.
He's got great flow.
He does got great flow.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So you can root for individuals, I think, on the squad without, rooting for the Niners.
Well, of course, I don't know if it's a mistake or if maybe I just found great entertainment in this, but I went on YouTube, of course, where he posted this video, and I had to see some of the comments from some of the Seahawk fans. And now, it is insane how unhinged some people are. Here's one. This is beyond evil, KJ. I hope nothing but the worst for you all and the 49ers.
That is just straight hate.
Another person, KJ Wright turning into the enemy was not something I was planning on. Then it says another person, the Niners of all the teams? Well, that certainly is an unexpected act of betrayal. I don't even know how to feel about this. Next person. Again, these are the comments on his YouTube channel. 31 other teams in the NFL, and you had to go to Santa Clara? F that! I can't be happy for a guy coaching against a team I've cheered for my entire life. I hope the Chiefs beat you again and again and again.
Ooh. Yeah, how dare he find work?
Another person, I'm not cool with this at all caps. Why not wait till something better comes along the way? Screw the Niners. This is beyond weak. Him and Sherman, this just shows where they go where the money is.
How dare they?
I thought you were a Seahawk for life. He done sold his soul. This feels like I've been cheated on. I get, I don't want to see the 49ers do well, but I'm also, again, it's not like as if the Seahawks offered him a job and maybe no other team did. Maybe the others did, but this was just a better opportunity for him. I'm not going to get mad at a guy because he wants to become a coach for another team.
Following his dreams?
It just seems silly. And I'm a sports fan that sometimes makes silly decisions because of my fandom, but I think even this is a little too silly.
Rockaholics, when has your fandom gone too far? When did you get too mad or do something dumb, all because of sports? Call us now, as we would love to hear your story. 206-803-ROCK. We will take your calls after Everlast.
The Daily Migs Show.
When has your fandom gone too far? When did you get too mad or do something dumb, all because of sports? Call us up now. We want to hear the story. 206-803-ROCK. JJ in Corvallis, which is Beavertown, pretty much. You've got a story about the Beavers.
Yes. So our head coach, unfortunately, this last year, unfortunately, our whole Pac-12 fell apart and all the teams left.
Right.
But one of the saddest things was Jonathan Smith leaving our team in just like the most ungraceful way. And I'm usually not a spiteful person, but announcing that you're leaving right before your bowl game, like we had to play our bowl game with an assistant coach acting as head coach, and like there was just no energy, and it was just so sad to watch. And he went from like a hometown hero, like coming back and supporting his alma mater, to just like dead to everybody in like a day.
Would you have been less upset if you waited until after everything was all said and done and then made the announcement?
Oh, well, like you were saying, like, I understand, like, you know, getting a job and getting paid well, like, and you had some success. I totally understand all of that. But just, like, imagine this team that is totally committed to you, and you're playing in a town that's just hard to play in anyway just because it's rainy, and, like, you have Oregon just 45 minutes away with, like, you know, Nike money and all this stuff. And it's just like, we were all supporting him. We're all so happy. And we understood that he was interviewing, and then just to drop the bomb and then not show up to the bowl game. It was just like,
it's a douche move.
Ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
JJ, I do have to say I really enjoyed this past season, just kind of the Cougs and the Beavers as kindred spirits as the Pac-12 goes away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like the Cinderella story almost, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just like against all odds, not getting any invites, and like still having a great season. But man, it just was like I had some real anger towards sports, and you know, I don't know if that's healthy, but it was real.
Yeah, I feel you. There are times where I'm like, that's just a stupid game. Why am I getting so upset about it? But also, quick aside, JJ, I heard that you ran into our very own Sarah while she was in Oregon over the weekend.
Yeah, JJ, what's up?
Yeah, me and my best friend, he was in town from Colorado, and I think we played 16 games of ping pong at the Moxie. And Sarah and George were sitting there, and it was just like, we just were talking and played some ping pong. And I think you were in town something for seeing the trolls.
Yes.
Wooden trolls all over the place.
I was.
To be honest, I thought you ran into her at like Acropolis or at Casa Diablo because she ended up at the strip clubs as well. I was like, this would be hilarious if that's where you ran into him.
No, they were staying at a hotel and they had a ping pong, and George loves ping pong. So we walked by and George was like, oh, I have to go in there and play with those guys. And I was like, okay, babe. So that's what we did.
It was just so fun. We were talking, and we were just talking about what we were doing. And she's like, yeah, I just do radio Tuesdays 6 to 10. And I'm like, I have to call in.
That's hilarious.
I've called into a radio station before.
Well, right on, JJ. Appreciate it, man.
Go Beavers.
Go Beavers.
I'll always root for the Beavers. Like a beaver. But honestly, though, speaking of football fandom, I have lost many Apple Cup bets over the years because I always throw down on my Cougs. But the worst one was when I lost an Apple Cup bet and I had to eat dog food.
Was it hard dog food or wet dog
It was wet dog food, which is the worst. It's like
It's worse.
It lingered in my mouth for a long time.
Do you remember what brand?
No.
Well, I mean, because
Alpo, I have no idea.
I was just asking because sometimes like, you see these and you open them up and you're like, it actually smells pretty delicious. And is it as good as it smells?
I don't think we invested much money in this
Okay,
dog
so you
food.
just went with, like, low budget.
It was bottom shelf dog food.
How much of it did you have to eat?
Just one bite.
And it was terrible.
But it was like gag.
Yeah, I would
just
never
wanted
with
to.
that.
I wanted it to stop, but I felt like I was brushing my teeth and nothing. It just was still there.
Did the taste stuck with you for a long time?
Yes.
Oy.
That was probably one of the worst ones.
See, the dumbest one I could think of, and it's not even about being angry or mad, because I try my best not to get too worked up over sports. It's just because it's like, what am I doing to myself? Like, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be entertainment. I'm getting too invested. But I remember, and I still to this day have to answer why. At least now they've been a team for a while, but I've had a Kraken tattoo on my leg even before they had their first game, I believe. I believe we got them before their first game ever played, all because of a silly proclamation that I made on the air, and Danny had to have my back, which I think is awesome. But when the Kraken wasn't the team name, and we knew we were getting an NHL team, which oddly enough was the anniversary over the weekend, was when they announced that they were trying to bring an NHL team here to Seattle, because I found the picture of me with the ownership group when they came into town and tried to pitch people buying season tickets and all that stuff. But I remember saying, if they go with the Kraken as a name, because I knew in my head, I didn't think they would ever go with that name, but I really wanted them to because I thought it was so cool. I'm like, but if they go with it, I'll get the team's logo tattooed on my leg. And sure as ass, they went with that name. And I remember the moment we announced that was going to be the name, all these texts were coming in. When are you getting the tattoo? So, of course, Danny and I, we ended up getting Kraken tattoo logos because of our stupid obsession with the
It's
sport.
not stupid.
No, it was amazing.
But it was funny at first. Now no one really mentions it. Or if I do, if I'm at the gym, people are like, hey, how about that game last night? But at first people are like, is that a Seattle Kraken tattoo? It's like, yeah. And then they would always respond with, wow, you're a really big fan. They haven't even played a game yet. And I was like, well, let me explain why.
Are you gonna get
stupid thing I said?
Are you going to get it covered up if they don't figure the season out?
No.
I'm kidding.
They're figuring it out right now, man.
Did you guys get the exact same like shape and everything? No?
Yeah, both got them on our units. It's crazy.
We did. Yeah, we.
No, we got the you got the alternate logo. Both of us got them on our legs.
Did you go together?
Same tattoo artist, but not together.
Yeah.
It's a long time to just hang out with somebody as they get on a tattoo that goes. It's not like getting a name or a quick logo. Like that's several hours. And I'm just going to sit and watch Danny get tattooed. I didn't want to do that.
No, you don't want to hang out with him any more than you have to.
No.
Which, okay, if you look at both of your tattoos next to each other, do they? What? I don't. Can I see them?
Well, mine's on my calf.
And mine is too.
Oh
It's a big
wow,
one.
that is big.
It's very aggressive.
Oh, you got, okay, I got it. Oh, that's dope. Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
guys.
so he got the Anchor Space Needle logo, and I got the regular S logo.
Which was funny because, like, the time we got him, like, they announced the logos, like, shortly thereafter they announced the name. And I just remember Steve and I were just like, this is the sickest logo ever. And but then we, like, showed our computers to each other. And it was like, oh, you're going with this alternate. And it was like, yeah, we don't want completely match.
Yeah, we're not weird.
No, you guys would never get buddy tattoos or anything like that.
Somebody speaking of tattoos texted in at 206-803-ROCK. Back when the Seahawks were in the AFC and the Broncos were our rivals, I got a Broncos tattoo with a circle and a line through it. It's on my butt, and no, you can't see it. LOL.
Wow.
I demand to see it.
That's big time. Not even a Seahawks logo. You got the rival team with the circle line, like the red circle with the line, I'd imagine. I haven't seen it either.
That's commitment.
Another person said when the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl, I broke my pellet ice maker. I picked it up and slammed it down. To this day, it was the dumbest thing that I've ever done. And my wife makes fun of me for it at least a few times a year. LOL.
I mean, pellet ice is like the king of ice.
It's not cheap to get that machine.
Allison in Seattle, fans threw their beer at you.
Yes.
At what game?
I was at a Raider game, and I don't know if they were playing, I can't remember if they were playing San Diego or the Rams, but I was rooting for the Raiders, and these drunk guys about 3 or 4 seats up, one of them actually threw his full beer at me.
And you were, what, 12, you said?
I was 12. And I thought my dad is a very peaceful person. He's not loud. He's just very peaceful. I thought he was going to go up there and punch that guy, but before he could do that, the guy's friends all jumped on him like, what are you doing?
You mean, we've gone too far, man. You're throwing alcohol at a 12-year-old.
Yes.
But wait, were you talking trash, or was it just because you were wearing the opposite team jersey?
I was just rooting for hooting hollering for the Raiders. You know, Raiders rule game.
You're on like Raiders gang flipping them off and like going, go after yourselves.
Oh my gosh, no! I mean, my dad and my uncle. I would have done that in front of my brother, maybe, but not my dad and my uncle.
Dude, it's funny you bring that up, Allison, because I remember when I was a kid and I was a massive New Jersey Devils fan, and my buddy, his aunt, had season tickets to go see New York Rangers games. So I would always go with him. I used to see so many Rangers games at Madison Square Garden, which was awesome. Got to see like Wayne Gretzky play when he was on the Rangers and Mark Messier and all that cool stuff. But I remember when it was a game against the Devils that they had tickets for, and I got to go. And I was like so fired up. I had my Devils gold chain with the logo on it. This is how much of a, like, I had my Devils jersey. And I'm like, I'm going to go there. And I was a kid, probably no different than Allison's age, maybe 12, 13 years old. Not thinking anybody's going to be a jerk to a kid, you know? Yeah, I'm in enemy territory. And I learned rather quickly to never do that again. As we're walking to our seats, some dude pushed me up against the panel, like against the tunnel, like you go through, and just shoved me against the wall. And then as I was sitting, and I was like, oh, this was a bad idea. And I was debating on taking the jersey off. I got hit in the back with an orange.
What?
Which I thought was kind of impressive that somebody just decided that, they brought an orange with them to the game and then decided to throw it at me. But I got hit and I saw it was an orange. So I was like, yep, jersey's coming off, folded it, put it under my seat. And I did not make any, I just sat there and like quietly cheered as the Devils were scoring.
I mean, that's pretty brutal. I have sat in the Husky alumni section before as a Coug, and they can be a little nasty, but nothing to that degree.
Well, and back in those days, like this was a section called the Blue Seats, and if anyone grew up in New York, which I know this is oddly specific, but there was a spot, it was the upper tier, it was the cheap seats back in those days. Nowadays, I'm sure it's still a pretty penny to go to the game, and they're not cheap anymore, but that was where, like, everyone called it the blue seats because they were the color blue, but it was like a blue collar vibe. Everyone was a little more gruff. It was like that was where all the loud yelling and chants and all the inappropriate things were happening. It was chaos up there. And that's where the seats were. And, well, I learned rather quickly, take the damn Devils jersey off, tuck the gold chain back in my neck, in my shirt, and I just sat there and quietly enjoyed the game for the rest of the game that way. And even my buddy Chris, he was just like, I told you not to wear the jersey. I told you not to wear the jersey. I was like, I know.
Lesson learned.
I didn't think anyone was going to want to beat up a 13-year-old over it. No. Like grown men.
Lesson learned.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now on the Daily Migs Show.
Damn. Some birds aren't meant to be caged. Yet, here we are, butt naked, eating soggy bologna sandwiches. Figure it's time to get busy living and get busy winning.
Let's play Cellmates.
Cellmates is the game where lawbreakers become game changers. And this week we are playing for tickets to see Blink 182 at the Gorge Amphitheater on Sunday, July 14th.
Nice.
Let's meet our cellmates. We have Randy in Lacey, who got surrounded by the SWAT team all because of your cousin.
Hello, good morning.
What's going on, Randy?
Oh, it's, just getting ready to get to work. I'm actually the guy that texted in several years ago about the song Friday by Leo Maracchioli.
Oh, right on. That song is so badass.
We love it.
It's so good. All of his covers are great. But so I was 16, so this is in the year 2000. I get a phone call from my dad, and he says, hey, cousin's going to be in town. He's bringing his guitar. We're going to have a jam session, and we're trying to learn what song, One Step Closer by Linkin Park, I think, at the time. And so I show up to my dad's house, and my cousin's not there. I'm like, hey, where's my cousin at? He's like, oh, he had to go meet his parole officer. He'll be here in like 45 minutes. I'm like, cool. So we start jamming, and then 20 minutes later, my cousin kicks in the back door, screaming, they're after me, they're after me. And we're like, dude, what's going on? He's like, you got to hide me. They're after me. And so we're like looking out the windows, and there's a SWAT team surrounding the house. They come in through the back door. They kick in the front door. They do a SWAT sweep of the house, drag me, my dad, my sisters, and my stepmom outside, put us in chains, and all at gunpoint, which was, awesome.
Whoa.
And we're like, what is going on? What's going on? We're freaking out. And apparently when he went to go meet his parole officer, he had a pistol in his pocket and a bunch of marijuana.
Well, that's what you do when you meet your parole officer. You come loaded with weapons and drugs.
Because, criminals are smart, apparently.
So how long then so you guys were handcuffed, you said, right?
Yeah, we were handcuffed. We were detained, officially detained.
How long were you?
I'm young. I was detained for probably... about an hour, because they questioned me. They thought I was his getaway driver.
Oh, my gosh.
You're like, I'm just trying to learn One Step Closer by Linkin Park, man.
Yeah, the only thing that really saved me is how can I be a getaway driver if I'm strapped to a guitar?
Oh.
Well, I've seen some on I-5 playing the guitar while driving. You just never know. People are crazy. No, that's insane. So what was the conversation like then with your cousin the next time you guys saw him?
I don't think I've brought it up since, because I don't see that side of the family very often because of that type of lifestyle.
Behavior. That makes sense.
That's not my thing.
Yeah. Because I said that's an awkward Christmas dinner. Like, hey, pass the potatoes. Also, what the hell happened with you and the drugs and the gun, you idiot?
All right, Randy, we're going to introduce you to your cellmate, who is Matt in Puyallup. Matt, you got busted skinny dipping, but didn't have time to get your clothes back on.
Yeah, so I lived down in Portland at the time, and my friends and I decided that it would be cool to sneak out my mom's car and go to a place. I told you it was Oregon City. It was actually Sandy, Oregon. I just remember. It's been a few years. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so we drove the car to Sandy because there's a spot there where we wanted to go skinny dipping. So we did that, and when we were doing that, all of a sudden we saw flashlights and some voices, and we thought, oh, man, it's the cops. So we grabbed our clothes. We jumped out of the water. We grabbed our clothes, and we started running. We didn't have time to put them on, and we had to climb a fence to get out. and it occurred to us we couldn't climb the fence holding the clothes. And so I grabbed the keys of the car. I said, ditch him. And so we did. We climbed the fence, and we ran to the car, jumped in the car, and we got away. So now we're in the car, and it's an hour drive back to Portland, and we're all sitting there thinking, so what are we going to do when we get back to Portland? Because we haven't got our clothes, you know? And so we come up with a plan that we're going to go back to my place because, you know, we got the attached garage there to the house. And so we go in the garage, and no sooner do we get in the garage, all of a sudden the door from the house opens, and we thought, oh man, we're so busted. They heard the garage door, you know. And my grandmother comes out, who thankfully she's blind and deaf, you know. She can, and she just comes out. And
I mean, if there was ever a time to be thankful someone's blind, it's this one.
Something in the freezer. And she doesn't notice us. And we're just frozen in the car, you know, sitting there just holding our breath, sitting there thinking, oh my God.
Hey, Grandma, we got frozen sausage here.
Yeah. And so then she yells something to my sister, hey, do you want this or that? You know, and I think, oh my God, if my sister comes out, we're so busted, you know. Well, she doesn't come out, and so my grandmother finishes, she gets what she's got out of the freezer, and she goes back in the house, and we're just all sitting there sweating bullets, you know. And so I'm like, okay, you guys stay here. I'm going to sneak into the house and get some clothes.
Did you at any point, first of all, I think it's funny that that's probably the only instance where you're like, thank God Grandma's blind.
Yeah.
But was there any moment that you looked at your friends where they're like, oh, crap, there's your grandma? And you're like, hey, don't worry, boys. She's blind. She doesn't even see us.
Well, I did kind of mention that, but I whispered it to them. You know, and actually what made it worse is that my friends in the back, they were pretty well protected as far as if we were to get discovered, you know, as far as being seen, because they crouched down on the floor. But me and my other friend in the front seat, all we could do is lean the seats back. And so if we were seen, we would have been totally exposed, you know.
What a visual.
There's our hands on our crotch, you know, sitting there going, man, please don't look in the car.
I swear it's not a stick shift.
Steve Migs, based on the severity of the crimes of our two cellmates, who should go first in the game?
Both good ones for different reasons. Let's go with Matt, the skinny dipper.
All right, Matt.
Okay.
You are playing for Blink-182 tickets.
Okay.
Question number 1. How many fingers does Mickey Mouse have on each hand?
I think it's 3.
It would be 4. All right, Randy, your question.
You get this right, you're going to Blink-182.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson's first Oscar win was for Best Actor in 1975. What was the movie?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, baby! Congratulations, Randy.
All right.
That was fantastic. I'm also noticing that we have a lot of rockaholics that skinny dip.
I was about to say that. I feel like this is like now maybe in the 2 months that we've done this show, I think we've heard maybe 3 or 4 stories of people for different reasons skinny dipping.
And they've all gotten busted.
Yes.
It doesn't end well.
Well, I mean, he worked, at least for him, he got busted by a blind grandmother, so he didn't really get busted.
Rockaholics, a well-known comic was so wasted that he got kicked off the stage in the middle of his set. Who was it? We have the audio for you to hear after the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Daly Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I
High Hopes. Streaming 420 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
Have you ever been to a show and thought, man, this performer should not be on stage right now?
Yes.
Feel free to call us up 206-803-ROCK. We asked this question because Nick Swardson was removed from the stage during a stand-up show in Colorado.
Was he on any shows as well, or do I know him just from being a comic?
He was in Grandma's Boy, Reno 911,
Reno 911. Yep.
The House Bunny.
Yes.
He's pals with Adam Sandler.
Well, clearly all the movies that you named, I think, are produced by Adam Sandler or been Adam Sandler films in one way or another.
Yeah, there's been a handful, but I feel like I know him mostly as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. I knew him more for stand-up, but I was like, I know I've seen him also in some movies.
Yeah, he always plays kind of a goofy, nerdy, weird guy.
Yeah.
And then he was a little bit of a drunk, weird guy during his show.
So it was that bad that they were like, we need to pull this guy off the stage. Because I've been to some stand-up comic shows where like the stand-up comic is definitely, I remember seeing Mitch Hedberg back in the day. And there was sometimes it wasn't alcohol. It was definitely something a little bit more aggressive and some more intense. And there were some of the shows where he was just like laying on the stage and you could just tell like, it was awkward. Like, I almost wish, looking back, I mean, he still made it funny. He still was talented enough that he could still crack jokes, but there were moments where you're just like, man, Mitch, I think it would have been better if you just called in, quote unquote, sick for this show.
During Nick Swardson's performance, the crowd actually was heckling him.
Okay.
And I think you have the audio, Steve.
I do.
Let's hear it.
Oh, it's bad. So here we go.
What are you saying right now? I'll say this. Let me ask you this. What?
I love that woman. She's
What you
just like,
smoked before you came out?
it had to be pretty bad where like he's just now conversing with the audience and not even cracking jokes or making fun of hecklers. He's just actually asking them questions.
Okay, I'll tell you a joke. So one of my favorite things, I don't have kids. Anybody here have kids? What the F? So one of my best friends was a guy named Norm MacDonald. Do you know who he is? Let's go.
That dude's just like, I want my money back.
Who here knows who Norm MacDonald is?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And turned off the spotlight. Now they turned off his mic.
Yeah, so at that point, this guy's doing play-by-play, and apparently they just were like, turn off the lights, turn off his microphone, and then I think either the manager of the club or some kind of stagehand was just like, you got to get off the stage, and then they address it for the crowd.
Now they turned off his mic.
Good evening. My name's Justin. I'm the director of operations.
Poor Justin. Hey, Justin, go up there and tell everybody that the show's over.
We've decided to conclude the show early in the best interest of those who bought tickets. We apologize for what you've seen tonight. Please email the box office. We'll be responding to inquiries and processing credits and refunds. We apologize.
That's embarrassing.
That's bad.
Justin in Ferndale, you have a story about Britney Spears being sick.
Yeah, so it was the Jingle Ball Bash many, many years ago. She was playing with, what you want to call it, Good Charlotte, and they were awesome. But she came out, and apparently she was sick during the tour, so she had to lip sync the entire thing and then kind of danced.
Oh. I mean, I kind of expect that Britney Spears would be lip syncing anyway, but maybe even more so when she's under the weather.
It's funny. You might, like, I was going to say, the way that you described it pretty much just sounds like how she would be just in a regular show, like kind of lip syncing, kind of dancing. Not much else going on there. What else happened?
Oh, yeah, no. So it was like she would like go to like take a sip of like water on stage, and then it would like slightly like the track would start back up, and she had to catch up with it.
No. That's
and there was some like slight audio delays and all of that. But Good Charlotte's fantastic.
Well, that's good.
What a random show. Like Good Charlotte's playing. That's back when they were massive pop stars as well, I guess. But that's a random pairing right there.
The one that I had a hard time with was when I saw Scott Weiland with Stone Temple Pilots, and they were 2 hours late, and he was not on his A game at all. It was like the rest of the band was fine, and they kind of saved the performance, but Scott Weiland was whacked out. He was not right.
Oh, man, that's rough. Yeah.
Well, yesterday was an emotional day for one popular football player as he did a press conference where the majority of the time he was sniffling and crying. It was a very powerful moment, and you're going to hear it at 8:20.
The Daily Migs Show. The Daily Migs Show.
What was the hardest thing that you ever had to give up? 206-803-ROCK. We're asking because Jason Kelce of the Philadelphia Eagles has made the official announcement that he is retiring.
I know, because he basically told his teammates after they lost in the playoffs, I think I'm done. And then that word got out, and he's like, I wasn't ready to really make this an official announcement yet. So some people started thinking, maybe he's going to get the itch again. And then he made the big announcement yesterday. I saw the press conference. Did you watch any of it?
Yes.
Whew.
And he was extremely emotional talking about his retirement.
And so this all brings us here to today, where I announce that I am retiring. Where I announce I am retiring from the NFL after 13 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. And today, I must admit, I am officially overrated. Vastly overrated. But it took a lot of hard work and determination getting here.
I do love that he dropped an F-bomb in the middle of a live press conference that was being carried by like all the places in Philadelphia. I mean, he was so well beloved. I mean, a lot of people do argue truly one of the greatest to play his position.
Absolutely. Even more so, though, he got emotional talking about his brother.
Who's there?
Who was there in the room during the announcement.
This is where it's going to go off the rails. I won't forget falling short to the Chiefs and the conflicted feeling of immense heartbreak I had selfishly for myself and for my teammates. And at the same time, the amount of pride I had that my brother had climbed the mountaintop once again. We'd envisioned making the winning plays day after day on Kohler Ridge Road. We won countless Super Bowls in our minds before ever leaving the house.
It's so sweet.
You know what the weird thing is, though? As I'm listening to this, I'm like, this also sounds like a dude at like 4 a.m. doing a bunch of cocaine. Like he's getting emotional and he's constantly... I mean, you could play, is he sad or is he doing a line of coke? The new game on the Daily Migs Show. Is he crying or is he a massive cokehead?
Okay, what do you... Also, question for you.
Hold on.
Steve Migs.
Whoa, that one got right to my brain.
Jason Kelce as a commentator in seasons to come. Would you be on board with that?
As long as he keeps doing the booger sugar. No, he'd be fantastic.
That's what I want to see.
Well, here's the crazy part is, here we are all feeling bad. Oh, his career's all over. And I know like a lot of people, it's a good question to ask. Like, oh, man, what's something tough that you had to give up? Because at some point, for whatever reason, sometimes you have to give up something that you love to do. But I read that apparently him and his brother Travis, Mr. Taylor Swift, as we all know him now as, apparently their podcast is so popular, they're in talks of potentially landing like a $100 million deal with their podcast. It's because it's doing that well.
That does not shock me at all. So although it's very sad, you know, people are bummed out that he's retiring, but also well deserved.
With all that money, just think about all the cocaine he could get. Once you hear that, you can't unhear it.
No. He does have a very bright future, though. We're excited about what's next for the newly retired Jason Kelce.
I love that dude. I mean, obviously, he never played with the Seahawks. He's always been I think he's always been a Philadelphia Eagle.
What do you say, 13 seasons?
When he won the Super Bowl, I remember he dressed like this giant, wizard guy. It was hilarious. And then, of course, when his brother was in the Super Bowl last season, he was wearing like this weird, overall Kansas City Chiefs color thing going on, just crushing beer with fans. Now they have a Funko Pop commemorating that moment. That dude's just awesome.
Knowing that it was hard for Jason Kelce to retire, we wanted to hear from you, Rockaholics. What was the hardest or most random thing that you had to give up doing? 206-803-ROCK. Call in now, and we will take your calls after Green Day.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, what was the hardest or most random thing that you had to give up doing? 206-803-ROCK. Give us a call now. Daniel on I-5. You had a hard time giving up the ganja.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did. Well, I became a truck driver, and you're not allowed to do that because they do random tests.
Oh, it's frowned upon,
I like to make money.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said it's kind of frowned upon when you're driving a truck to get stoned, huh?
Yeah, very frowned upon. Well, I'm the kind of person that would love to do it at night. I don't want to do it while I'm driving, but that stuff just stays in your system for so long. And again, I got a mortgage that I need to pay, so I got to quit it.
Do you feel that now you've been removed from smoking weed and having it in your system, do you look at it and say, you know what, actually this was for the best and I am feeling better, or do you truly miss it?
I truly miss it. I'm such a high energy person that I use it to really mellow down. And that's why I like doing it towards the end of my night. But, I mean, I can always wait until it becomes legal on the federal level, or I retire, one of the two.
Might I recommend just throwing a ball down the hallway and just chase it all the time? That's what I do with my puppies. Calms her down.
Yes, I have a high-intensity dog that I take out for walks every day. So I get my exercise in.
And then the dog's like, I got to calm this Daniel guy down. He's just too much as a boss.
Daniel, when you get home, give that dog a scratch from Auntie Taryn, all right?
I will.
Riley in Marysville, you gave up alcohol at the age of 16.
Auntie Taryn, huh?
Riley, you there?
I'm here.
So you gave up booze at 16?
Yeah, so basically, back in high school, some kid threw this party, said it was at his house. And so turns out it wasn't actually his house, and he broke in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so basically it's pretty messed up because the owners found out and called the cops. And then I ended up breaking a few things in the house and getting arrested.
Ooh.
So.
How much time did you have to spend locked up? Or was it much at all?
It was just a night.
Oh.
I mean, the nerve of that guy's like, hey, let's have a party and we're just going to break into somebody's home. So everyone's there thinking they're having a great time. How long did the party go on for until you guys realized, oh, crap, we're in somebody's house that we're not supposed to be in?
I showed up because I thought it was that kid's house the whole time.
Oh. And so you had been drinking up to that point, and then ever since then you've not had alcohol?
Yeah, after that, my dad wasn't happy. He said I had to, otherwise I was going to be out of the house.
Well, how old are you now?
I'm 20 now.
And that's cool, though. It's like, I don't need this crap.
Yeah, I mean, I figured there's some better things to go for in life, you know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's for sure. Possum Paul in Hillsboro, you gave up the job that you loved.
His name is Possum Paul?
Possum Paul.
Possum Paul, you know you're on the phone with Annie Taryn over here.
Yeah, right?
Lucky you.
Yeah, I gave up my job in Corvallis, Oregon. You guys had a caller from Corvallis earlier this morning.
Yep.
Cool. To move to Seattle. I'd been in Corvallis my entire life, born and raised there. I was in my 30, 31, and I just needed to get out. I needed to change, and landed a job at the Mecca in the kitchen.
Nice.
And went home and told my boss, which is the best boss I ever had in my life, I'm giving you my 2 weeks. And I don't know if you want to hear the whole story, but my last night at Squirrel's Tavern, I wasn't working. I was not on the clock. I was there watching this show, this band called The Magnet. And stop me if you get bored. But the members of the band were split up between Corvallis and Seattle, and some of the band had moved to New York to pursue their careers in music, and they all came back to Corvallis or to the West Coast. They played a couple shows up in Seattle too. They called themselves the Magnets because they drew each other back together.
Okay, that's clever. I just also love the fact that Possum Paul, I do love the fact that you worked at a place called the Squirrel Tavern. I just think that's funny that Possum Paul works at the Squirrel Tavern. But we got to get running, Possum Paul. Take care.
Rockaholics.
Wait, I just want to go back to you being like, hey,
Auntie Taryn?
Auntie Taryn.
Yeah.
If I said, hey, give your dog a pat on the stomach and just tell him Uncle Steve told you to do it, sounds kind of creepy.
You
when you say it like that, Uncle Steve
gonna give you a belly rub, boy.
How else am I supposed to say it? Tell him Uncle Steve said it.
Tell him Uncle Steve said, I love you, good boy.
Rub his tummy from Uncle Steve.
Now I got a quick question. Do you have a crazy dog voice that you do for your dogs?
No.
You just talk to them with a regular voice? Are you a monster?
Well, I mean, when the dog gets out of like its crate, or for Lulu and she goes outside and she stretches, of course you go, oh, big stretch. You have to do that, otherwise you're not being a good pet owner. But I don't have any other.
Okay, that's why you're not Uncle Steve.
When you pet your dog, do you say, hey, it's Auntie Taryn, or are you Mama Taryn?
Well, I'm Mama Taryn. I don't call myself that, though. I mean, it's just Mom.
That would be weird,
I have
Steve.
a dog voice.
Stupid Steve. What's your dog voice?
Oh, Kai boy, that's a good Kai boy. Come here, Kai boy. Oh, that's a good Kai boy.
I don't know why I feel really weird right now.
And then we sometimes call Brute. I call him Brutus Magootus. Come on, Brutus.
What's with the weird, like...
I don't know.
It's not like a baby voice. It's more like a character from Family Guy voice or something like that. I love it.
Well, Rockaholics, on that note...
Can you just talk in that voice for the rest of the show?
No.
Can you at least do the next little tease in that voice?
I don't even think I can now. Rockaholics, how would you like to beat Steve? He's currently 52, 17, and 6 in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 8:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
Find your perfect fit with a custom suit from Indochino. From timeless classics to bold statements, you can express your style exactly how you want. Get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more at INDOCHINO.com with code PODCAST.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just two people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wowee.
Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked.
I don't know.
High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Katie from Stanwood is. Katie, are you there?
I'm here.
Katie. I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Katie has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Let's go, Stanwood.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is located in what country?
Italy?
Yes. How many events are there in an Olympic decathlon?
7.
No.
4.
No.
3?
No. What Happy Gilmore actor stars in the newly released Netflix movie Spaceman?
Pass.
In most band classrooms, students must first learn to play what instrument before the saxophone?
Pass.
What's the name of the town where the Flintstones live?
Bedrock.
Yes. Which type of dog has breeds called Scottish, Welsh, and Irish?
Setter, an Irish setter. Pass.
The two elements that make up water are hydrogen and what?
Oxygen.
Yes. What type of flower has magical powers in Beauty and the Beast?
Rose.
Yes. What do you call a remake of a movie that is not based on the original source material?
I don't know. Reboot?
Yes,
nice,
you
Katie.
do know. And with that, Katie, you get 5 correct.
Okay.
Right down the middle. You passed when you didn't know, so that was good.
And Steve might be off his game from earlier. So
Yes,
Good, I hope he is.
he lost pretty bad earlier today. It was phenomenal.
Oh,
Oof, I blame Facebook, man. My
It's
whole
all-
day is ruined because Facebook's not working right now.
Same.
I don't know what people are mad about.
I know.
Sad.
Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is located in which country?
Italy.
Yes.
Boom.
How many events are there in an Olympic decathlon?
10.
Yes. What Happy Gilmore actor stars in the newly released Netflix movie Spaceman?
Adam Sandler.
Yes. In most band classrooms, students must first learn to play what instrument before the saxophone?
I'm going to go clarinet.
You'd be correct. What's the name of the town where the Flintstones live?
Bedrock.
Yes. Which type of dog has breeds called Scottish, Welsh, and Irish?
Terrier.
Yes. The 2 elements that make up water are hydrogen and what?
Oxygen.
Yes. What type of flower has magical powers in Beauty and the Beast?
What kind of flower? A tulip?
No.
Daffodil?
No.
A rose.
Yes. What do you call a remake of a movie that is not based on the original source material?
A prequel?
No.
A reboot?
Yes. St. Paul is the capital of what U.S. state?
Minnesota?
Yes. And Steve, with that, you get a perfect 10. Sorry, Katie.
Ah.
Wow.
That was a really, really weird perfect 10, though, I have to admit.
And they say
Just want to throw that out
like
there.
because you weren't feeling great about it, or what?
There were a lot of really random guesses that I got right.
Yeah.
Like reboot, I didn't think that was the answer. Even though I know it's called like a reboot, but I don't know why. I just didn't think, I was just throwing that out there just to be a Weisenheimer.
No, Katie did the same thing, too. She didn't think she knew it, and then that was the thing she threw out, and it was right.
Well, I know that I mean, I think I just want to put a little all call out to the Rockaholics from Stanwood that one of us has to beat Steve one of these days.
Well, it's not going to be Katie.
It's not going to be Katie.
Congratulations, Steve.
Well, why did a member of our show spend their weekend kicking people, multiple people in the groin. You're going to hear what happened after Lincoln Park.
Migs Show.
Rockaholics, we are thrilled to report that Facebook is now working. And
Celebrate.
all is right with the world. That was a little scary there for a minute. How was anyone going to know what was up?
You know what? I think it was probably for the best that we didn't have it. It was very peaceful this morning. Felt good, but I guess Instagram must be working again as well.
Yes. One thing I saw on social media, by the way, over the weekend, Steve Migs, is that you had an interesting time in Portland.
I did. I went to Portland over the weekend. Actually, I just posted the video up on, speaking of social media pages, check out our TikTok page. We've got a TikTok page at Daly Migs, DALYMIGS. So be sure to follow us, and we usually post some clips from some of our favorite callers. But this time, I grabbed the video clip of what I was doing over the weekend in Portland. A little bit different than what Sarah was doing, where she was at a strip club. Woo! I also was around shirtless people, but it was in the world of independent professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And so I wrestle over at DOA Pro Wrestling. It's a place that I go typically every month, and it's a super fun time because it's at this Elks Lodge. But actually, they're moving now to the Portland Expo Center because it's just gotten so big that now they're going to go into a bigger venue, because I think at this last one, there was like about 500 people. It was packed.
Dang.
And so during my match, I came up with this dumb idea that I was like, hey, how about towards the end, because it's a multi-person match, there's like 6 of us in it. I was like, how about at the end, I just get frustrated because I'm a bad guy, and I just start kicking everybody in the jimmy.
Ooh.
And just start bringing everybody down. And then it will end with, there was a female in the match she'll turn me around, I kick her in the jimmy, she's got no jimmy, big surprise, she kicks me in the jimmy, and then she beats me.
That sounds awesome. I love this.
The video's up there, but I was like, okay, that was a fun moment, but I did not know what was going on with the live play-by-play or with the commentary that was on, like, because, it goes on a streaming service. And I went back and watched it, and I was just dying because the dude, Elliot, that was doing the play-by-play was coming up with the most creative ways to say that I'm kicking people in the junk without saying I'm just kicking people in the junk. And he was just coming up with these on the fly, and I was just like, this is amazing. So I grabbed the audio just so that you guys could hear the talent of Elliot Tyler doing the commentary. He's usually a wrestler, but he was just doing the play-by-play, and he was just like, he was having a good time coming up with different ways to talk about your wiener. And I think your favorite was at some point he used the term peener.
Yes.
Playing spoiler again.
There you go. Don't take that from him.
That is pinpoint in the Diak. Duck in the roundhouse. Missing the second.
Oh, there's an uppercut.
Right in the peener. Float through. Neck breaker. Right hook. Right in the Johnson. I think Steve Migs is thinking of badminton. He just hit him in the shuttlecock.
What is happening over here?
So, okay, this is maybe a stupid question. With regard to commentators in wrestling, do they have any idea do they know what's going to... Do they know a little bit about what's going to transpire?
In that situation, no. There are times where I will tell the guy, hey, this is what's going to happen. Just be prepared. That way, you get whatever story you're trying to come across. But I was just like, I didn't even bother to bring it up. I was like, it's so ridiculous. He'll be able to figure out what's going on. I'm just kicking people in the boys.
Well, he did great.
It was awesome.
That was very impressive. Sarah, would you like to talk about your strange time in Portland?
Speaking of getting kicked in the peener.
Well, I had a great time in Portland with my husband. We went to originally go see one of the big trolls, but of course I had to convince him, not just to see a troll, but let's go to some strip clubs. And of course, the first one we went to was Acropolis.
Mm-hmm.
Acropolis.
Yeah. Or as we call it, the A-crop.
The A-crop.
Did you almost say Acropolis?
Yeah, yes. I have a hard time saying that one. But
I do too, actually.
It was, so we get in there, and immediately, like, the person taking our cash or whatever, the doorman is a little bit flustered because he said that their whole sound system went out. And he said it was, like, silent for the first, 30 minutes that they opened.
So were they doing, silent strip routines on a pole?
Yes.
I don't know why that makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Well,
I kind of want to be there for that. That just sounds like a weird,
it's like a silent film.
Yes, almost like a new thing, a new niche kind of strip club where it's just in silence.
And then it's like, are you talking? Are other people talking? And people are eating too. So he told us that, but so he was kind of very just kind of off his game, but everything sounded fine. He was like, I had to jimmy rig this and jimmy rig that, but music's on now, we're good. So we're like, okay, great. So then we go in and, we order food and whatnot. And then,
and for those who don't know, Acropolis is known for, though, having like the really cheap steak.
Yeah.
yes.
Because the guy that owns it is a butcher. And so he's got it's quality steak. It's not like as if like you're paying $10 for a steak, but you're not getting what you would think is a $10 steak. It's better quality.
Yeah, George loved it. He got a steak and a baked potato, and he was a happy camper. And so everything's going
What you
fine.
get as a person who doesn't eat meat?
I got French fries and the garlic toast.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Fine dining.
It sure was, because that's literally all I could eat. I asked about the mac and cheese, but that had meat in it, so couldn't get that. But so we're just eating and enjoying, and then all of a sudden, silence.
No.
Yes. And then we're like, uh-oh, he's having difficulties again.
The guy, the DJ, he couldn't even talk on the microphone?
No, there was no DJ.
Okay.
I don't know if there's normally a DJ. There was no DJ.
I just assumed there's a DJ. Maybe they don't.
No, I think
like a master of ceremonies.
Yeah. So
Wait, who's telling who to get on the main stage then?
No, you don't know anyone's name there.
Oh, well, that's weird. They don't even have like little name tags on. Like, hello, my name is Crystal.
I don't think they want people to know their names. So then the music got started up again. So we were like, oh, phew, he figured it out. But then every now and again, an ad would play.
No.
So it would literally be like, pour some sugar on me, right? And then it'd be like, the Bounty Quicker Picker Upper is there for you to clean up your messes.
Oh, so they probably just use like a like Spotify or whatever.
I
one
asked,
of those streaming services where you don't pay for the premium.
Yes, I asked our waitress, and I was like, "Yo," and she was like, "Someone's playing YouTube videos off a computer, and they don't have YouTube Premium, so you'll get a few songs, and then you'll get an ad."
Also, this is going to be that person's targeted ad based on their algorithm.
Well, that makes sense.
You
Then
know
why
what I
you need a
mean?
quicker picker upper at a
That's
strip
what I was
club.
thinking.
Yeah.
No wonder they're being sold mops.
Yeah, so I mean, the dancers did a great job, but the dancers would be in the middle of like giving someone the routine of a lifetime, and then all of a sudden, it would be an ad.
I have so many questions about this.
And the waitress, I asked the waitress because I did too, and she said she actually was enjoying it because a lot of songs they can't play, I guess, and they usually don't play songs with swearing in them.
Well, yeah, for the children, we don't want to make sure we corrupt the kids with bad language at a strip club.
I was shocked.
That seems
with
very
that.
strange.
I know. So the waitress was like, "I love it because I can't hear a lot of these songs usually when I'm working."
But also, don't they at the strip clubs? Don't they cut the songs? Like they're not going to play a 5-minute song. They're going to play X amount of minutes because you pay for dances. So they're not going to give you a 5-minute song. They'll just give you like a shortened version of the song. Okay, there's your 3 minutes. Who cares if it's a 5-minute song? We're not playing all of, Tool. We're going to play 3 minutes of it. So with this, were they just playing the entire song?
The entire song.
Oh man, people were getting a deal.
That's so fun. I just love how they were just, like, we're going to shoot from the hip.
And do you get a lap dance during the commercial, or is that just like a break?
They take a breather. They get a sip of water.
Is that kind of the next song, or is that still like an add-on to the song that you're already getting danced to?
Yeah, it was very
That's so weird,
interesting and weird, and I realized strip clubs would be way different if there wasn't music.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole vibe change right there.
Yeah, everyone was just kind of eating their French fries and steak, looking around like, okay, now what?
It's fine.
Yeah, strip club in silence sounds really weird.
Yeah, I don't want that.
It was an experience.
I wouldn't mind just like knowing what it would be like, just like watching somebody just pole dance without a song, like
just making eye contact,
and they can hear everything. That'd be so weird.
Especially like hearing people like knife and fork cutting steak
and chew.
No thanks. I'm out. Well, Rockaholics, would you consider yourself to be a massive fan of rock music? Such a fan that you could name a song after only hearing 1 second of the chorus. Prove it! And if so, you could win tickets to see Attila and Born of Osiris on May 15th at the Showbox. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Hook or Shook at 9:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Daily Migs Show presents the Extreme Music Showdown. Let's play Hook or Shook. Please sign this waiver before we continue. Thank you. We'll drop a 1-second snippet of the hook of a song. If you can't name the song, watch out. You're gonna get shook.
It is time to play Hook or Shook, Rockaholics, and all week long we are playing for tickets to Attila and Born of Osiris at the Showbox on May 15th. This morning, our contestant is Scott in Seattle. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Good morning. So you've got to get both songs right to win the game. The first song, you will be on your own. The second song, and this is where you can get shook, a member of our show at random must get it right for you. If you don't get it right, then you're going to lose, and caller number 9 will be the winner instead. So let's see who you are playing with. Will it be me, Migs, or Sarah?
Now, Taryn. Is it going to stay on Taryn?
I think it's me.
It's stuck on Annie Taryn.
Scott, let's do this.
Excellent. I have faith.
All right, are you ready for your clip?
Yes, please. Wow, can you play that again?
Of course. And I can help you out a little bit if you need a little hintsky.
I would need a little hintsky.
So the name of the song is also a music venue in Seattle. Also a type of food.
I thought that was where you were going to go with this.
Type of food, music venue.
The band, are they Armenian? Armenian?
I think
so the band System of a Down.
Yes. If you were to dice up something with a knife, you would be
chopping. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's
Chop House.
This is like the Chop House. He said Chop House.
That would be Chop Suey.
Chop Suey, Scott.
Sorry, Scott. We were so
I'm
close.
So sorry.
How did this game become like a really bad version of charades?
Let me give you every hint I can possibly think of.
I was waiting for rhymes with Schmop Shmooey.
Schmop Shmooey. That's the classic Steve.
That's what I would have went with. I was about to throw it out there, but then he had to go guess Chop House.
206-803-ROCK. Caller number 9 can call us up right now.
Wake up!
Wake up!
I still get fired up when I hear that song, and I was so excited when we were in Dallas for our radio convention many months ago, and we went to an emo night, which is typically Danny's a DJ. In fact, I think it's this Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
This Friday night over in Seattle, not at Chop Suey, but Numos.
Yes, thank you, sir.
He'll be DJing emo night, and they play all those songs like Fall Out Boy to Blink 182 to Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. Yeah.
Will you throw in some System of a Down?
But the one in Dallas did, and it tore the house down. They did Chop Suey, and all the emo kids were losing their mind and moshing. It was awesome.
We always do Chop Suey, and I was actually thinking about this time maybe throwing some Toxicity out there as well, just to to mix it up a little bit. You know, you can't do the same thing every month. You know?
Was it Aerials, or do you do the
BYOB?
BYOB is a good. That's a good one.
Do you remember that IEAIA? Was that IEAIAIO?
You mean Old MacDonald Had Its Farm?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, could you do Old McDonald at the farm and see, or like the Wheels on the Bus, just throwing like a random kid song and see if people react to it.
It probably would go over well, especially if you're doing it later in the evening when everyone's like wasted.
Oh yeah, that's not a 9 p.m. selection. That's a 1 a.m. selection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Rockaholics, if this morning we have talked about something that you want to talk about, please give us a call now. 206-803-ROCK. We will check in with the Rockaholics after Van Halen.
The Daily Migs Show.
All morning, we have received texts and phone calls from you, Rockaholics, that we have not yet had a chance to chat about. So at this time, we want to talk to you. Call us up now if there's something you would like to chime in on, something we've hit on this morning, anything that's on your mind. 206-803-ROCK.
We got a few text messages. One person did want to, and I want to hear about this as well because I did not know this happened because we were off for a few days. A few of us were going to, Danny was going to a radio convention thing that was happening in Nashville. I was in one that was in Las Vegas that Ryan Castle was hosting a big panel, which was kind of crazy because I was there. And all of a sudden I'm talking to this dude. And then I realized it was, do you remember Jesse James Dupree from, what the hell was the band that he was in? Jackal.
Yes.
He was just hanging out, and he's just like nicest guy in the world. We're BS. He's just like inviting all of us to come stay on his farm, and we're just like, what is happening right now? He couldn't be a nicer guy.
Where was he performing? Was he part of the...
I don't know why he was there. I think he might... I think he represents some bands now.
Cool.
And does his own music too, so I think he saw this as an opportunity to meet up with some people. But I did see a band that just blew me away called Paille Royale.
They played Pain in the Grass. Yeah.
Woo, those guys are great.
Yeah, I remember seeing their set. They're fire.
And I think it's Pallaye.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pallaye or Paille.
Let's do a spelling bee.
It's
Pallaye?
It's Pallaye and then Royale or Royal.
We should do a spelling bee.
No, we should absolutely not do it. But it was a lot of fun. But somebody said, while you guys were off, did you know that your friend Auntie Taryn said the C word on the men's room last week? Excuse me, what?
It was an accident.
Well, I hope you didn't intentionally join Miles and Thrill and just drop a C word.
Well, apparently there were a lot of us doing things last week, and Mike Hawk from the men's room was out. And so Ted was running the board for the men's room.
Okay.
And so I was the substitute for Ted versus the FCC.
So instead of having Ted do Ted versus the FCC and you just grabbing the board for him, they just said, screw it, let's see if Taryn
can do it. I saw when I landed, I was in Dallas, and when I landed, I saw that I was coming back into town right at the time that they were getting ready to do the big beer launch with the new men's room IPA. So I'm like, I got to stop by and say hi and pay my respects to the new beer. And then they invited me to play the game, and it did not go very well.
Do we have audio of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Is it hard to do Ted versus the FCC?
I think I had to do it one other time, and I was successful.
Because you're a pretty decent orator.
I try, but I really blew it. Blew it.
You've locked in your oral skills. Like, you speak in front of people a lot. Yeah. You host different events.
Absolutely.
I mean, some of us, I know I couldn't do that kind of stuff. I would flub over my mouth. I would definitely screw up Ted versus the FCC.
Well, you want to hear how it sounded when I did it?
Absolutely.
Ted versus the FCC. You read it one time through and 3 times fast. Ted's still going to have to do this next week, by the way, because he did not get it right last week. But it goes something like this. Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts. How we do Ted versus the FCC, in this case, Taryn versus the FCC, is you need to read that one time through.
I like the Ted's not
then
playing
3
this
times
week
fast.
and still like, damn.
I know. I forgot how bad that was.
You look panicked.
All right, well, Mike's not here. Are you dump it or am I, Ted?
I'll dump it.
Okay, I'm not saying you're not going to get
Not saying that confident.
Thanks for the confidence boost there, guys.
You got it, buddy.
All right, here we go.
One time slow.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's country cut while she creates cute country blunt cut quilts.
3 times fast.
Kent can't help but cuddle Kendra's cute country cut continuously. Kent cuddles Kendra's It was stressful.
I don't think I would have got it right on the first go round.
Even the slow reading.
My brain was
slow.
just saying, say the C word, Steve. Say the C word. That sounded so impossible.
You know what? I gave it the old college try, and I failed miserably.
Well, at least you didn't get in trouble.
No. Well, that was the other thing, too. I have to rely on Ted to hit the dump button.
Yes, you put a lot of faith in that man.
in his large index finger.
And speaking of Ted, we do have audio of Ted that we want to play on our show because somebody texted and said, "Hey, happy Absinthe Day, y'all. Please tell me you found some audio of the Absinthe show that you mentioned earlier this morning." Yeah, so for some reason today's Absinthe Day, and I guess if you want to enjoy the Green Fairy, today would be the day to enjoy it. I don't know if it was invented today or what the reason was, but it's one of those kind of random days. And many, this is before Danny, definitely before you, Sarah, as well, but many years ago, there was a company I think it was in Czechoslovakia, and they were called the Green Fairy. And this is before you could just buy absinthe here. And it was a little bit more of the extreme version of absinthe, where like here it's a little bit more watered down, I believe. Like you don't get as crazy. But so he brought it in. He was doing the whole thing with you burn the sugar cube and you pour it and all the fancy stuff. And the entire morning we were just drinking absinthe. Well, some of us. And Ted joined us that morning. Oof. And also Chad Eaton formerly of the Seahawks, he was with us as well. And we're all just drinking absinthe while on the air. And we were interviewing a guy, and I did find a clip of it that actually pertains to Ted. We were interviewing this guy by the name of Glenn Morshower, who was on the TV show 24. And he was calling in whenever they do these interviews where you're lined up with 10 radio stations, you've got 10 minutes with this station, 10 minutes with that station. And so he jumped on with us. Now, mind you, this is now 8:30 in the morning, and a few of us are now blacked out.
No.
Blacked out. In fact, I'll start off with me trying to introduce the guest. And I don't remember any of this when it happened. I didn't know about this until we went back and found the audio. And it's bad.
Oh, no.
To the point where I'm like, I will never ever drink on the radio again. I didn't say anything offensive, but I was making 0 sense while I was trying to talk to this guest and do an intro. So here's the audio of that.
I have an intro. Our next guest is Agent Pierce on 24. There was this one time where I was at a tattoo shop and the girl got pierced in a certain spot and she went, "Oh, yeah." And I was just impressed,
Well, we've given a whole new meaning.
He's already kind of done with us.
What?
And then I cut him off.
Well, we've given a whole new meaning.
I'm not done, Glenn. I got an intro for you. He's on 24. Please welcome Glenn Morshower.
The thing is that I was assured by Fox that most of these stations are extremely reverent.
Yes. I'm like, yes, we are. And then at some point, the handler's like, okay, we got to wrap it up because he's just like, I got to get this guy. He was a good sport. But here's the Ted moment. So Ted found out that he was from the South.
Oh, God.
And, of course, had to ask him about, barbecue because that's very important.
I have an intro.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Here we go.
He sounds... I think he hung up. He's got a southern accent, which is great. So you prefer brisket over, short ribs?
Brisket. So far, I would describe this as unparalleled.
I bet Taco Bob and the fish in North Carolina aren't doing this kind of an interview.
I want to tell you this. I cannot get enough of Taco Bob.
He was a great sport.
Did you guys tell him what you'd been up to all morning?
Oh, no. We were just saying this is how our...
So
no, of course. Yes. We said, hey, dude, just so you know... Well, I didn't say it, but the sober members, BJ, he was just like, just so you know, there are members on our show. But that day was so bad. Kids don't drink absinthe.
Oh, my God. I haven't touched absinthe in I don't even know how long. More than a decade.
I just remember we ended up then at the gentleman's club by the name of Rick's.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I don't remember until the next day realizing how much money I spent there. And I spent a lot of money. A lot of money.
So don't drink absinthe.
Right. And I don't know. And I remember then talking with one of the other dudes, and I'm just like, I spent this much money. He goes, me too. How awesome is that? I'm like, dude, I'm not making your kind of money. This will now hurt me paying my bills.
Oh,
this was bad. I was like, I am never drinking absinthe again.
And absinthe is to blame.
Well, yeah.
It's not your fault. It was the absinthe.
Being young and dumb, that adds to it as well.
A man was arrested while he was on the toilet, and we have the audio of that arrest for you. You'll hear it at 9:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
A burglary suspect was literally caught with his pants down by Colorado police officers while using the toilet. How does that happen?
Just picturing, here you are just trying to take care of business, and all of a sudden the cops come in and they're like, get your hands up. You're like, should I drop the toilet paper? What am I doing here, guys?
The officers were reacting to an alarm going off and catching the suspect in the act.
Michael, please, show me your hands. Hands up.
Hands up. Stand up. I barely made it. Stand up. Walk this way. What's that? Walk towards me. Keep your hands up. Stop there. Stop there.
Stop right there.
Are you picturing him doing the duck walk? Because I'm picturing him doing the duck walk. He's like, can I just pull my pants back up? Can I finish wiping?
I mean, what if he wasn't finished at all? I have so many questions.
Yeah, I almost feel like I'd be like, look, dude, we'll wait for you. We'll stand and just finish doing what you got to do, and then come on out of the stall, and we'll arrest
And put your hands behind your back.
Have you ever walked in? Because imagine being somebody that like walks into that bathroom.
Oh my god!
I don't know if it's the type of bathroom that there were multiple people, or I don't know if it was at like a convenience store or where it was. But imagine walking in and that's going on.
That would be awful.
You ever walked in on anything weird in a bathroom? I think Danny knows why I'm asking this question.
Yes, I do.
I don't know. Not that I can think of on the fly.
Oh, I'm not trying to set you up for failure.
Are you setting yourself up for failure?
There was a time at a radio convention. We were in Atlanta, and we were trying to get fast food. And for some reason, it was like everyone was waiting forever to get to the fast food place. Like it felt like every fast food place was closed, so we're just waiting in this drive-through line forever. And I had to pee real bad.
Let me put this out there. This is after we went to the bars. So it was it was probably 2:30 in the morning. Like, we're not talking like 11 o'clock. It was 2:33 in the morning.
Yeah, we're wasted. Yeah. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to get out. I'm going to go run in the bathroom. I go run into the bathroom at a fast food place, and I open up the door, and there are these two dudes, and I will never forget. They were both wearing like these shiny, almost like leathery looking pants. I think one was red and one was blue.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were standing next to each other, almost like it's touching lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I have no idea what's going on other than this is not the bathroom I need to be in. And they looked at me almost like, hey, come on in.
Maybe they left the door unlocked on purpose.
Probably. So
exhibitionism.
I went straight to it was like one of those single bathrooms for the women's and the male. So I just went to the women's bathroom and locked the door. And like, I just stood there and I was like, I don't even know what to do. Finally, I was like, I went to the bathroom and I was like, I got to get out of here. I go into the car again. And I'm like, you guys won't believe what I just saw. And I started explaining to them. And I think it was either the driver or someone that we were with was like, oh, they were docking. I was like, I don't even know what that means. And then they described what it meant. I'm like, yeah, they were docking.
Okay, I didn't know that was the Urban Dictionary term.
It's a thing. Huh. I witnessed it firsthand. It's very weird.
Well, it is already the end of the Russell Wilson era in Denver. Can we really call it an era?
Hell yeah.
Oh, it can't
Best 18 months of their lives.
We're going to tell you all about it during the Daily Migs download after Papa Roach.
The Daily Migs Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today we've learned it's a brand new day to get drunk. It's Cinco de Marcho Day.
My man, whatever that means, I'll do it.
So marcho on over to Safeway and get yourself the brand new Men's Room IPA thanks to Black Raven Brewing.
Because we think it's yummy.
Dude, we just tried it. Well, you already have tried it. This is my first time trying it. It was this morning, which sounds weird. I swear, I've only had a couple sips.
Breakfast beers.
Holy crap, is this a goodie IPA?
I like
goodie
to call it
IPA.
A goodie IPA. Yeah, you've had this much. I like to call it a daily drinker, but spelled not like my name, like the actual daily, because you could drink it. You could drink a couple of these and not be, IPA wasted.
It's fantastic, man.
I'm a big
to the
fan.
Men's Room and props to Black Raven Brewing for putting together an awesome IPA. And you can get it now at stores. Go to KSW.com because they have a bunch of cool stuff going on right now. You can get a new Men's Room t-shirt that looks just like the logo, which is awesome. Also, they're going to have a big party happening not this Friday, but the following Friday over at Black Raven Brewing over in Woodinville. So you get all those details just by going to KISW.com. Maybe Russell Wilson will show on up because, well, he needs to find himself a job.
See y'all in the morning.
He is no longer a member of the Denver Broncos. That's right.
Mr. Unlimited.
Well, there's a limit to him, and that's 18 months. Into his 5-year, $242 million contract. They said, yep, we're releasing you. Things didn't work out well over there in Denver. The first season was terrible. Then pairing him up with Sean Payton didn't work out as well as they hoped. But the fact that they're done with him, they still owe him $39 million for 2024. And over the next 2 seasons, a cap hit of $89 million. I got to say that might be one of the worst trades, and it was with the Seattle Seahawks. It worked out pretty well for the Seahawks. Not great, obviously, because we're still struggling to make the playoffs. But man, I think in the long term, it was a better deal. It was a better deal. Yes.
Also, I'm still not 100% sure, but I believe Russell Wilson named his dog Bronco.
You're right.
So I don't know if they're going to change the name when he switches teams or what.
Might call him Steeler or Pitsy, because that's the rumor. He might be going to Pittsburgh.
We'll see what shakes out, Rockaholics. Jared McCann had a goal and an assist, and Philip Grubauer stopped 35 shots to help the Seattle Kraken beat the Calgary Flames last night 4-2. Their third win in 4 games.
Groovy, can't you see? Sometimes your plays just hypnotize me.
The Kraken are 6-2-1 in its last 9. Up next, the Kraken are in Winnipeg tonight at 5 o'clock, I want to say.
I think you're right.
And I got to say, last night, my son, who's 4.5, who doesn't like sports at all yet, was enthralled with the game. He was watching with wonderment. I don't know what happened. We obviously had to turn off the game and go to bed, but he was into it. He was so into it.
It's definitely groovy.
So it's a new dawn in my household. I have a hockey fan as a child.
They're playing good. I just don't know if it's too little too late, because obviously the season's not getting any shorter. It's getting shorter. It's not staying long. And, well, they have a long road ahead of them if they want to even make a wild card spot. But you know what? They're playing really well right now, and Philip Grubauer is looking pretty awesome. Bummer news for Seahawks fans. We got to say goodbye to a legend, and that is KJ Wright. I'm not mad at him. I'm more mad that I'm no longer get to enjoy his podcast, because his podcast was awesome, but he just made an announcement on his podcast that, well, he's going to be joining the coaching staff for the dreaded San Francisco 49ers. He's an assistant linebackers and defensive quality control coach under Kyle Shanahan, but props to him. I know if you listen to his podcast, he's always had aspirations of coaching. I believe he wanted to stay here in Seattle, but I don't believe that there was an offer put on the table for him to do any kind of coaching with the Seattle Seahawks. So you know what? Here's an opportunity of a lifetime for him, and he did address the fact that, yeah, I'm going to the 49ers, but he's hoping that Seahawks fans will be happy for him.
There's really no reason to be mad, because I think that everybody that knows me knows my heart. I think everybody knows that people want me to be happy. You guys want me to be happy, right? You want me to be in a good mental space, right?
Well, the answer is no if you read any of the YouTube comments, because a lot of people were very upset with him, which I think is just outright silly.
Absolutely. Asad Ali is an Everett student pilot who skillfully landed a plane in the woods after experiencing engine failure. And this was all thanks to the training that he had received just 2 days earlier.
Wow.
Ali was preparing for an exam when his engine died, but he managed to avoid 2 residential areas and land in some woods. His instructor said he was very proud of how he handled it. And the photos are bonkers, because it doesn't look like he would have been okay, but he was okay.
You got to let him pass the test now, right? I don't even think you give him a test. You're like, dude, you landed.
You can fly anything now.
You survived the crash. You passed the test. You're good, man. Hey, as far as weather, we're going to hit a high of 45 degrees. It's going to be cloudy today. Also, just a quick shout out. Please keep in your thoughts and good wishes for my daughter, Tatum. We're going in today because, she broke her arm, and we got to find out today if she's getting surgery or not. So if you don't hear us tomorrow morning, you hear an old show, it's because, well, surgery is going to happen tomorrow if she needs surgery. And I hope she doesn't.
All the positive vibes to our girl Tatum.
But we're taking her to Build-A-Bear today, to give her a bear that she's always wanted. So that way, if she has to get surgery, she's got a brand new bear, and she wants teriyaki for lunch. So that's going to be our big day.
Good job, Dad.
Bears and teriyakis for a broken arm. It's a pretty decent trade-off.
I like it.
Hey, like I said, weather's a high of 45. It's going to be cloudy today, and that's been the Daily Migs download, and that's what's up.
Ryan Castle is up next with the Morning 12 Pack.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood. Which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked. High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
The average family throws out $1,500 of food every year. That's a lot. Imagine what you could do with extra cash. There are simple ways to reduce your food waste and increase your savings. It starts with a meal plan, a menu, a shopping list, and ends with a little creativity, fresh recipes, ingredient swaps, and new kitchen skills. Get tips to reduce food waste and make your dollar go further. Know the cost. Go to usefoodwell.org to learn more.